Riley. It's cut day at the Masters, and the goal today is to make it to the weekend.
Yeah, the rain did hold off, so the course is still firm and fast, but the pros say it did play easier than it did yesterday afternoon. It's not a sun-baked Augusta National anymore. Meredith Anderson live for us at Augusta National, where all eyes, Meredith, are on that leaderboard.
They certainly are, Richard, because if you think about it, today is very important. You can't win it today, but you can lose it to get it today. Right now, the cut is looking like it'll be 3 over par. And this is important to remember. The cut did change in November. It used to be top 50 and ties and then 10 shots of the leader. But in November, it changed to just the top 50. So now the Masters most definitely is the most difficult cut of all 4 majors. The weather today, not the beautiful blue skies we've seen the rest of the week. It's been overcast and humid, so it's almost like the sky has wanted to rain all day. It just never could really get it together. Not that anyone minded, especially since the course appeared to play easier than it did yesterday. The pin placement today was more difficult, though, so it balanced things out. Still, this is not the same course we saw in November, not by a long shot. Here's an example. Augusta's own Larry Mize at one point was competitive in November. Today, not so much.
I didn't expect this. I didn't expect it to be this bad, but it was. So you got to take the bad with the good. So we just fought for everything we could get, and just wasn't. It was a lot of fight. There just wasn't a lot of good there.
Yeah, not a lot of good at all. He finished 19 over, but he says he is not finished with this tournament. Next year is the 35th anniversary of his amazing chip. Remember the one that beat Greg Norman and earned him that green jacket? But that's not why he says he'll play next year. He says he can't go out like this. Okay, and I can't go out without a quick concessions update. There is a new sandwich in town here at the Masters, the chicken salad on brioche. Now, chicken salad sounds familiar. It was at one point on the menu in a wrap, but this is different because of the bread. And, sandwiches here at the Masters, they're a pretty big deal. Just ask defending champ Dustin Johnson. He'll tell you, other than the green jacket, sandwiches are his favorite thing at the Masters.
Well, you got to have a favorite. It might as well be a sandwich, and I had no idea we had something new on the menu out there, right?
I didn't either. Something definitely to check out. Sounds like it's pretty good.
Bring home 27 of them, Meredith.
They're a whopping $2.50 a piece, by the way. So
we'll cover the cost.
Very expensive.
Don't you worry about that. Okay, a lot more golfers are closer to the top of the leaderboard today, and again, some are finding out the hard way how difficult this course is from just 5 months ago.
That's right. Sports director Mike Yacachonis is here breaking down the leaderboard for us.
Thanks for that, Zana. The race to the finished into the top 50 is on. A lot of movement in the morning, and the top of the leaderboard is just getting more and more congested. Here's how things are shaping up. It's phenomenal how one day can make such a difference. Justin Rose remains at the top, but shot even. 5 players shot 5 under or better to really make a run on him, including Tony Finau. Cut line is holding steady at 3 under, like Meredith just told us. Phil Mickelson and Adam Scott look like they'll just sneak in. Same with Matt Wallace and Abraham Ancer. Rory McIlroy, though, Brooks Koepka, Jason Day, unfortunately, our local guy, Kevin Kisner, and a number of other notables all look like they won't be around this weekend. In November, our former champions really had a great showing. Bernhard Langer finished in front of Bryson DeChambeau, and even more finished inside of the top 50 playing the weekend. This year, it's just not looking to be the case. The course is certainly playing tougher, and more often than not, former champions and players below the cut line are simply finding themselves on the wrong side of a bad bounce.
That seemed to be my week. I hit some really nice shots this week that looked good, that did end up not getting close to the hole, but that's what makes this play special and difficult is not all your good shots turn out the way you think. You have to get the right bounce.
Getting the right bounce. I can tell you if I had a dime for every time I said that. The common consensus among players was a 2 or 3 under round would be phenomenal. The course is certainly living up to that. Another update coming to you guys in just about a half hour.
No, we get it. You can get a bad break from a good shot, Mike. Thanks a lot. We are learning today the governor's office is now accepting applications for Columbia County's next DA.
An email sent out by the Georgia Bar Association says those interested are asked to submit by next Thursday. Then it's up to Governor Kemp who gets the job. No matter who he picks, the new DA will walk into quite a few cases on their desk. Many court cases have been delayed. When the pandemic first hit, proceedings came to a halt. About 24,000 court cases were put on hold. According to the court administrator, jury
selection started in fall, but things were put on hold again when COVID cases increased. Attorney Tiana Bias says the first jury trial this year was held on March 23rd.
We are in a situation where our hands are tied just a little bit because we're not allowed to be as pressing as Vic previously stated with filing speedy trial demands, going to court, and being as aggressive as we would be were we allowed to try a case as soon as possible.
Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, what two prominent local figures say they plan to apply for the new Columbia County DA position.
Also today, a Savannah man found hanging in an interrogation room last weekend. Now his family is speaking out. Saturday, William Harvey was taken to the Savannah Police Headquarters for questioning about an aggravated assault. Police say he died from injuries he got from an object he had when he came into the interrogation room. The family says he was not suicidal, and they want answers.
He was my lifeline to this world. I don't know if I'll be able to make it, and that's why I'm here, because I want to know what happened to my child.
We've never had a case where the allegation was that someone died during in an interrogation room at their own hand.
Now, the family attorney also says officers should have had safeguards in place to protect human life. The GBI is now investigating that case.
Georgia Secretary of State for any legislation.
Well, if you have plans to travel to Savannah anytime soon, don't forget the mask. That mask mandate for the city is staying in place until at least May the 6th.
This comes as Governor Kemp rolled back most of his state-mandated COVID-19 restrictions, including the ban on large gatherings. Here in Augusta, there is still a mask mandate also.
Well, if you still need unemployment benefits, it might be time to reapply. The Department of Labor officials say more than 400,000 Georgians applied around this time last year, which means your benefit year is about to expire. So if you apply and your claim is denied, you could still be eligible for federal unemployment benefits.
Heading to the bar usually involves drinks, but this Douglasville bar is offering a vaccine with your beer. Tito's Lounge is right outside of Atlanta. They teamed up with the pharmacy who had too many vaccines and not enough demand. Now they offer people a chance to get vaccinated, then grab a bite to eat. People who got their shot at the bar say it was the convenience that attracted them.
It was really convenient, and it was really nice that they are doing this for the community. We're really happy to support a local business too.
It's perfect because I live right down the street, so it was, more convenient to come here.
That's right, definitely convenient. Just get your shot and grab a bite to eat. I mean, no complaints there.
Shots at the bar. Who would have ever thought of such a thing? All right, Governor Brian Kemp in Southwest Georgia today to sign two new bills into law. One of them makes the pecan the official state nut. I'm going to pronounce it the other way as soon as I can. The other makes it easier to farm tractors and use state and local roadways. Pecan. I know. The governor says these bills are a great way to support local agriculture and the business around it.
We understand how important agriculture is. We understand how important agribusiness is and agritourism is. It is one of the things that I think really people don't understand. They underestimate how great this makes our state, that we have so.
That signing, by the way, taking place in Vienna, right outside of Albany, Georgia. Pecan, you know the nut.
You know what? We were just arguing about how you say this in the newsroom, and
yeah.
I say pecan.
It's the way you grew up with pecan. I grew up in a pecan town, but who knows? It's flip a coin.
Hey, but the bottom line is it's good. We all like it.
They are.
We all like
We
it.
all know what they are. Riley? Actually, before Riley, the game of golf expanding and the faces are changing. Coming up, what the LPGA is doing to get more black girls on the golf course.
We are keeping an eye on isolated nature, and if it does become severe, it shouldn't be severe for too long. And if you are kayaking tomorrow, remember that storm threat tomorrow afternoon, so just have a way to stay on top of the radar. Try to get any outdoor plans in earlier into the day. That's when those rain chances do look lowest for us. So as we progress through the weekend, rain chances technically not zero even through Sunday, but by Monday, mostly sunny skies. Same thing Tuesday, and then just some more low rain chances as we progress later into next week.
Thanks, Riley. Augusta National making efforts to get more women of color into the game of golf, funding a scholarship in the name of Lee Elder. That was during the November Masters. Also donating money to Payne College to start a women's golf program.
And it seems like the trend to get more black women and girls into golf is just spreading. In Conyers, the LPGA is working to change the face of golf. Christy Etheridge shows us how.
Every swing brings them closer to a sport they can feel proud of.
When you usually think of golf, think of some old man out there in the middle of the day hitting the
Maria Dixon says now you can think of someone like her.
I think it's pretty empowering because you don't usually see a lot of black girls out on the golf course.
The LPGA is working to change that.
This is for every girl who's ever been laughed at or told she doesn't belong.
In 2019, they started a campaign called Drive On to encourage women to enter the game. And earlier this year, they introduced the Diversity Hub and started profiling stories for women of color.
I would say the black experience in a game of golf is a little bit hard to come by. There's not a ton of girls playing that are black.
Now there are at least 28 more out of Conyers, Georgia, like 12-year-old Nevaeh Guest.
This is my first time playing. My favorite part is like the putting part.
Through the only girls golf group in Conyers, these 28 women ages 6 to 17 will learn the game of golf and the science behind it.
So golf is all about STEM, the science, the technology, the engineering, and the math piece.
From the science of the divot and why the grass turns brown to the engineering of the golf ball itself and the angle of their swing.
And I could have another skill that could be helpful, maybe to get into college.
Executive Director Carolina Mincy is looking even farther than that.
These girls will be a part of what they call the C-suite already in corporate America.
As they work to change the face of the game, 8-year-old Carter Wilson has some advice for other girls like her.
If you want to try a sport, you should try it, and because maybe you'll be really good at it.
It's just that simple. In fact, that's News 12 alum Christy Etheridge reporting. It's great to have her back on the air in Augusta. So if you want to get your kids involved, we do have programs for kids golf right here in the city. First Tee of Augusta is a great place to start, and we have the link for that up on our website.
I love this story. It's certainly nice to see girls of all ages, all races wanting to take part in such a great sport.
It is a great sport, and they're looking to grow the game at Augusta National. This is a great way to do it. Well, still to come here, many of us have gotten used to working from home these days, but new studies show businesses are starting to call us back into in-person, in the office. Coming up, we're going to show you how some are dealing with the anxiety of going back.
If you've been Badcock's Motion and More sale, featuring new recliner sets like our remarkable Duke collection or our selection of Lazy Boy recliners. Plus, save 30% on Sealy Power and Flat mattress sets, all with no credit refused. Badcock Home Furniture and More. Just right.
Like and follow News 1226 on Facebook for the latest up-to-date coverage near you.
A lot of you have been working from home at one point or another during this pandemic, but as the vaccines become more available, businesses are calling you back to the workplace.
About 3/4 of executives plan to ask workers to return by July. Doctors say this is causing many Americans to get anxiety. Susie Smittle gives us more.
It's been more than a year of masking up, sheltering in place, and working from home. Now millions of workers are being called back.
It's been a banner year for stress and anxiety.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Jonathan Horowitz says more people have been reaching out because of the pandemic, and now he's seeing the stressors of returning to so-called normal show up in therapy sessions.
At the beginning, it was all, how do we take it offline? How do we move home? How do we deal with that? And now it's, how do we go in the other direction?
I saw a definite increase in people getting back on medication, increasing medication, a lot of insomnia, a lot of panic attacks.
Jennifer Himes is a licensed clinical social worker. She says the pandemic exacerbated existing conditions and situations for some who are already struggling. She suggests a hybrid model for returning to work might ease the transition.
I'm going to go back twice a week. I'm going to see how I like it. And I've already had clients who have done that. And for some, they love it. And for some, it really does feel weird.
75% of bosses expect to require their teams to physically come back to the office in some capacity by July. Most executives want people in the office at least 3 days a week, whereas more than half of workers want to be remote at least 3 days a week. Sean Lama says he's looking forward to getting back to work, with one exception.
My main concern is public transportation, to be honest, because even before the pandemic, I actually would catch colds all the time.
Doctors say once you're back, keeping strict work boundaries can help relieve stress.
When I log off from work, I'm done, and it's made a huge difference.
The pandemic has taken a toll on mental health, so doctors recommend talking with your healthcare provider if you have concerns. Susie Steimel, CBS News, San Francisco.
And we get it. I was able to come in every day during the pandemic. You worked for a month from home, right?
I did.
Were you glad to get back in, or did you like it at home?
You know what? I think it's like bittersweet in a sense, but then you miss the people you work with. It was great to be home with my puppy, but then at the same time, I miss your faces and just communicating because it was just myself.
It's easier when it's face-to-face, but we got to hear your puppy every afternoon on the afternoon news call. We got to hear him barking in the background and you yelling at him to be quiet. So
I know.
a little
I think you
slice of
enjoyed
home. It was fun. We're back after a short break.